Chapter 9, Mishnah 15. The Mishnah continues describing the decline that the Jewish people suffered over the course of history. It names Tanaim who had certain abilities or brought particular blessings to the world, whose levels of greatness in these areas were not reached by anyone else after they died. Once Rabbi Meir died, there ceased to be tellers of parables, who used parables to explain deep ideas in a simple way. Once Ben Azai died, there ceased to be diligent scholars, who studied Torah tirelessly day and night. Once Ben Zoma died, there ceased to be biblical interpreters, who know how to derive laws from verses in the Torah. Once Rabbi Yeshua died, goodness from the government ceased from the world. Once Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel died, locusts spread and misfortunes increased. Once Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah died, wealth ceased from the sages. Once Rabbi Akiva died, the glory of Torah ceased, because Rabbi Akiva brought unique glory to the Torah by demonstrating that all its details, even the extra lines that adorn the letters, are meaningful. Once Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa died, there ceased to be men of miraculous deeds. Once Rabbi Yossi Katnusa died, there ceased to be pious men. And why was he called Katnusa, literally the little one? Because he was the least of the pious men. Once Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai died, the splendor of wisdom ceased, because he was exceptional in that besides knowing every part of the Torah, he also mastered other subjects. Once Rabban Gamliel the elder died, the glory of Torah ceased, because people no longer stood while they learned, and purity and abstinence died. Once Rabbi Ishmael ben Pavi died, the splendor of the kahuna ceased, because he was a wealthy Kohen who hosted many Kohanim at his table. Once Rebbe died, humility and fear of sin ceased. The next on a list matters that deteriorated after the destruction of the Second Temple. Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair says, from when the temple was destroyed, Torah scholars and free men have been put to shame and their faces are covered. Men of good deeds have become weak, while strong men and slanderers have become powerful. No one seeks, no one beseeches, and no one asks for the good of the Jewish people. Upon whom, then, can we lean? Only upon our Father in heaven. Rabbi Eliezer the Great says, from the day the temple was destroyed, the level of Torah scholarship started to decrease, such that the people of one level fell to the level below. Scholars began to be like school teachers like synagogue attendants like commoners, and commoners became gradually weaker, and no one seeks ways to stop their decline. Upon whom, then, can we lean? Only upon our Father in heaven. The Mishnah describes the final period of the exile, which immediately precedes the arrival of the Mashiach. In the period before the Mashiach comes, insolence will increase, expenses will rise, the vine will produce its fruit, yet wine will be expensive. The government that rules the world will be converted to heresy. There shall be no rebuke, that is, no man will be able to reproach another. The study hall that was used for studying Torah will be used for harlotry. The Galilee, the northern region of Israel, will be laid to waste, and the Galvan will become desolate. Inhabitants of the border, i.e., all parts of Eretz Yisrael outside Jerusalem, will wander about from town to town in search of food, but will not be shown compassion. The wisdom of scribes, Torah scholars, will decay. Those who fear sin will be despised. Truth will be absent. Young people will make the faces of old people turn white from embarrassment. Old people will stand before minors to give them honor. A son will deride his father. A daughter will rise against her mother to shame her. A daughter-in-law will rise against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies will be the members of his household. See Micah chapter 7, verse 6. The face of the generation will be like the face of a dog, and a son will not be ashamed before his father. Upon whom, then, can we lean? Only upon our Father in heaven. Another teaching by Rav Pinchas ben Yair is cited. It lists the spiritual levels that a person must climb in sequence in order to achieve his full spiritual potential. Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair says, Diligence in observing the law leads to cleanliness from sin. Cleanliness from sin leads to purity of thought. Purity of thought leads to abstinence, i.e., abstaining from permitted pleasure. Abstaining leads to holiness, i.e., minimizing even necessary pleasure. Holiness leads to humility. Humility leads to fear of sin. Fear of sin leads to piety, i.e., going beyond the letter of the law. Piety leads to divine inspiration. Divine inspiration leads to resurrection of the dead, and the resurrection of the dead will be brought about by Elijah the prophet, who is remembered for good. Amen.